It was a quiet morning in Portland, Oregon, when Emily Parker stepped into her small kitchen. The sun touched the curtains softly, and the smell of fresh coffee filled the air. Emily lived in a modest suburban home with her husband, Daniel Parker, who worked as a project manager in a large construction company. Emily was a freelance illustrator, spending most of her days sketching designs and working on small contracts from publishers. Life for the Parkers had always been steady and uneventful, but little did Emily know that the arrival of Daniel's old friends would turn her peaceful life into a web of secrets, challenges, and surprising discoveries. Daniel had grown up in Chicago, and during his college years, he had built a strong friendship with three men, Michael, Ryan, and Jason. They had been inseparable back then, but as life moved on, everyone settled in different cities, chasing their careers. Years passed, and they only occasionally stayed in touch through calls and social media. One evening, Daniel came home with unexpected news. "Emily," he said, placing his bag on the couch, "you remember my college friends, Michael, Ryan, and Jason? They're coming to Portland for a couple of weeks. They're between jobs and projects, and I thought maybe we could host them here." Emily was surprised but smiled warmly. "Of course, friends are important. If they need a place to stay, they're welcome." She meant it. Emily was kind-hearted and believed in hospitality. What she didn't know was that opening her doors would mean opening her life to complicated emotions and a series of events she had never imagined. 2 days later, a rented black SUV pulled up outside their house. The first to step out was Michael Turner, tall, sharp-featured, with the calm confidence of a man used to leading. He was now working in finance, but was between companies. Then came Ryan Mitchell, who had once dreamed of being a writer. His gentle smile and thoughtful eyes made him approachable. And finally, Jason Carter, who had a more adventurous look, always joking, always restless. He had been traveling for years and never seemed to settle. Emily welcomed them with genuine warmth, preparing extra dinner that night. The living room buzzed with laughter as the four men recalled their old stories: wild nights during college, failed cooking attempts in their dorm, and road trips across the Midwest. Emily enjoyed watching Daniel's face light up. He had been so busy with work lately, often coming home tired. But now, with his friends, he looked alive again. Still, Emily noticed something unusual. Each of Daniel's friends carried invisible weight. Michael was distracted, constantly checking his phone. Ryan's eyes seemed to hide sadness. Jason smiled the most, but Emily sensed his laughter was covering something deeper. Over the next week, Emily spent more time around them than Daniel could. Her husband often left early for meetings and returned late, while she, working from home, interacted with the guests. She made breakfast, listened to their stories, and slowly began to notice the truth behind their lives. One morning, while Emily was setting coffee on the table, Ryan stayed back after the others left for a walk. "You're very kind, Emily," he said softly. "More than you know." Emily tilted her head. "What do you mean?" Ryan hesitated. "I've been struggling. I never finished my novel. Publishers rejected me. I feel like I'm disappointing everyone, even myself." Emily placed a hand gently on the table, not too close, but enough to show comfort. "You're not a failure, Ryan. You're just in the middle of your story. And sometimes the middle looks darker than the end. Don't give up." Ryan gave a faint smile, his eyes grateful. That was the beginning of a quiet trust between them. Meanwhile, Michael, though confident, seemed under heavy stress. One evening, while Emily was cleaning the porch, she overheard him on the phone. His company had collapsed, and he had debts. Later, when she casually asked if he was okay, he admitted the truth. "Everyone thinks I'm successful," he sighed. "But right now, I don't even know where I'll be in a month." Emily, though surprised, offered him encouragement. Sometimes falling apart is the only way we discover what's worth holding on to. Michael looked at her as if no one had spoken to him so honestly in years. And Jason, always laughing, always energetic, finally revealed his secret during a late-night conversation in the backyard. I travel so much because I don't want to stay in one place long enough to feel alone, he admitted, his voice low. Everyone thinks I love adventure. Truth is, I'm running from emptiness. Emily listened quietly, realizing each of Daniel's friends had come here not just for reunion, but because life had cornered them. During this time, Daniel grew busier with work. His company was in the middle of a critical project, and he often came home exhausted, sometimes even too tired to join dinner.